First I should add water to measure. A Turkish cup. Çünkü sert kahve ya, öyle yemek yemeden içilmez yani.
Kahve
Böyle.
tüketimimiz azaldı mı acaba?
Tamam.
Vay.
Tamam. Şimdi köpüğü var mı seninkinin?
I was born in Baku, Azerbaijan. My parents are from a small tribe in Azerbaijan called Mountain Jews, and they immigrated when I was 4 from Azerbaijan to Turkey. So for the biggest chunk of my life, I grew up in Istanbul, Turkey, and had a great time, learned a lot about Turkish culture. I wanted to work over summer, and one of the best kind of work opportunities for people my age who speak some kind of English was to work as a fortune teller for the tourists.
Oh, can we have some coffee?
Yes,
Oh,
let's
okay.
start.
Yeah.
So
okay.
yeah. It's good,
Oh, it's
right?
delicious.
I
Yeah.
think it's great.
How do we do this?
Okay, so first we're gonna take the coffee cup,
Okay.
and then we're gonna cover it with the saucer.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, and then with your thumb at the bottom, and then your index finger and middle finger on the top.
Okay, like this?
Now, yes, and now you're gonna make a wish that you're not
wish.
gonna tell us,
Okay.
and keep about that wish and how much you want this wish to happen
Okay.
in real life.
Okay.
And while doing it, turn 3 times clockwise.
Okay.
Okay? And then now we're gonna very quickly turn it outwards and put the saucer on the table.
Okay. Yep.
And while we're doing this, I'm gonna say a Turkish phrase
Okay.
that basically says, whatever is my situation, let that appear in the cup.
Okay.
Okay. Neyse halim çıksın falim. Okay, great. Now we're gonna let it cold a little bit. But
Okay.
before we do that, would you mind putting your ring or a coin? A ring indicates that you want to hear more about personal relationships, romantic relationships, friends, love, sort of things. A coin indicates you want to know more about your professional goals, money, bank accounts.
Let's go personal.
Okay.
Okay.
So
the
just
coin,
put it on the...
Put it on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we believe that the energy of the ring and what the ring stands for is
Okay.
going to actually influence what is going to be seen in the cup. It's not only about the future, it's also about what's present and the past,
Okay.
which also nurtures our knowledge of what is future gonna be, right?
Right.
We'll wait a little bit until it dries. The fortune teller, obviously, like all the types of other fortune telling, I
Yeah.
think a lot of them, you try to read your customer in a way. So like you first, what happens, what my instructions in the cafe was the tourist would come, I would ask tourists a bunch of introductory questions, try to understand whether this person is rich or poor, or married or single, where is this person from, and kind of understand what are the worries in this person's mind. And after you drink the coffee and start interpreting the coffee, you kind of project the things you've learned about this person into the coffee cup and pretend that it's the coffee cup that's telling you all those things that you have learned before.
Yeah.
So you really use your interpretation skills in ways. It's almost like a clinical psychology practice where you are trying to bring, without giving like directed advice to the individuals, you're trying to lead them to come to advice they want to hear by themselves and they want to do. So I think some of the fortune tellers would really approach their work from that lens. But we also used to have a booklet, and the booklet basically was, this was a short, like maybe 10, 15 pages booklet, but would say like rabbit means this, star means that, I don't know, like a skyscraper means this, etc., etc. So this way, when we interpret the shapes, we have kind of a basis. A lot of people have different ways of looking at the cup inside, because now you're going to see I'm going to divide the cup in different parts, and different parts for me is going to mean different things.
Okay.
So I'll put my cup away,
Okay.
and I will return your ring to you.
Thank you.
The energy is there.
Oh, I feel it.
And I will flip the cup over. Ooh. The way I look at the cup is always basically the handle parts. This part is about love. This part is about wealth. When I cut from the middle, the left part is about going to be present and the past, and then the right part is going to be about the future.
Okay.
And the very dark bottom is going to be about family.
Some other people at Radcliffe here also had this discussion about whether people really, really want to know the future, or whether they just kind of want to chat about the future. And you know, maybe what you're saying is right, or maybe there's just a nice opportunity to have a chat. So what was the balance of that kind of goal with people?
I think for our culture, most of the time, it's a social tool to get to know other people and catch up with friends. So when you say, let's have a cup of Turkish coffee, This means that you're committing for like a chunk of an hour and a half, 2 hours, to actually sit down. It's not something on the go. Yeah. And you sit down and really discuss life matters, right?
Okay.
Let's say like you are divorcing from someone, or you are changing your career path, you're relocating from one city to another, or your mother is going through an illness, kind of like important events in your
Okay.
life. And you want those events to be, discussed and mentioned and shared with someone. But you also want to know whether those events are potentially going to come to a positive or a negative outcome.
Yep.
So I think coffee drinking culture really, and the coffee cup fortune telling, really enables that type of a venue for people to alleviate their own worries.
Do you know how old it is, like when it started?
Yes, so we know, according to historical records of the Ottoman Empire, that it's around 16th century
Okay.
when the Ottoman Sultan, for the first time, kind of started having this. What we call today the Turkish coffee actually comes from Yemen.
Okay.
And it was imported in the Ottoman
Yemen,
times when
okay. Okay.
basically it was a part of Ottoman Empire and came all the way to the Sultan. And Sultan loved the taste of it.
Okay.
And we know that some of the people were brought from the city, from Istanbul at the time, to come to the Sultan and give his fortune from looking at the cup.
Okay.
And kind of that's how it spread to the elite, local elite of the Ottoman Empire at the time. And from there spread onwards to all the region. I see a volcano.
A volcano. Oh, look at that. That looks almost like a pyramid volcano kind of thing. Yeah.
You see there's some lava coming. Actually, volcano is a very common feature in coffee cup fortune telling.
Really?
There's a mountain and a volcano.
Okay.
Volcano happens when the top is not sharp.
I see.
And a mountain happens when the top is sharp.
Okay.
Mountain means actually there's going to be a challenging path, and at the end there's going to be a lot of relief and a lot of happiness. Volcano means there's a lot of something coming. It's like
Okay.
a volcano eruption.
Okay.
That might mean good things or bad things.
Great.
But mostly, volcanoes indicate that there's a lot of energy of some sort that's
Okay.
coming your way.
Okay.
And this volcano gladly has an opening. Do you see that at the end there's an opening?
Definitely. Yes.
So this opening would indicate once again that whether this volcano brings you bad news or good news, whether there's a lot of bad things happening or a lot of good things happening in one moment, it is going to resolve in good.
Okay.
If this was completely closed, which could happen, have happened, if that was completely closed, that would mean that it's just going to be negative results, even if it's a positive volcano.
Oh.
So this would mean nothing to worry. There's going to be a time that's coming in the new future. And we also know that coffee cups cannot tell you more than 40 days.
Oh, really?
So this is in the next 40 days.
Is that to ensure the return of the patron to the coffee cup fortune teller?
It means that
Got
I want to see my friend again
Got it. Okay.
in
Got it.
no more than 40 days. When I was growing up and my mom was working and I was like, I don't know, 9 years old, 10 years old, and I didn't want to stay alone, I would go with my mom to the work and see all these women doing these different types of like fortune telling and prediction systems,
Right.
according to the cycles, lunar cycles or astrology about what's going to happen in certain Turkish people's lives.
Right. And that was a big part of the local culture.
Yeah, it was a big part of the local culture, and I think there's definitely certain individuals who choose to not engage in it,
Right.
and there's certain individuals who choose to believe in it a lot. In
Right.
Azeri, we have a phrase that says, don't ever believe into fortune telling fully, but never stay without fortune telling.
Yeah.
So you need to like do it a little bit, but not too much. If you see, there's a bunch of towers actually. This could be an Eiffel Tower.
I am going on the Eiffel Tower
Amazing.
tour. I've never been to France many times, and I've
You see
never
the tower?
gone up on the Eiffel Tower.
And the
My daughter
Eiffel
and I are
Tower
doing that.
is, oh my God, the Eiffel Tower
It looks
is,
exactly like the Eiffel
it
Tower.
does exactly look like the Eiffel Tower.
Can you turn that so that
Yeah.
we can see a picture
and
of
the Eiffel Tower is in the romantic side.
Oh.
Like the relationship,
come
friendship,
on, it's
relationship side.
Paris, and
It is, it might be a
romantic.
city of romance. So the main situation of where I see coffee being drank is like the middle-aged population, because they have the biggest worries, I think, in their lives.
biggest
you know,
worries.
about money, about love, about marriage, about different things.
Yeah.
So they usually see this as a tool that they can believe, and they still consume Turkish coffee a lot. A lot of times the people who are going to do it are the people who have the time to be able to commit 2 hours to a friend and sit down and
Well, you were also saying something about people don't drink the coffee for the caffeine. Is that what you said before?
totally. I think
It's a purely social event.
100%. No one would drink Turkish coffee because I want to stay awake that night, which I feel like people in the States and Harvard
Yeah.
specifically would do it like to be like, oh, I need to waken up today.
Does it have a lot of caffeine?
It has
I'm
a
going
lot
to
of
find
caffeine.
out later.
It has a lot of caffeine. And I think maybe some people would find it offensive if you drank this coffee in a rush to just keep yourself awakened. Because it is an offense to the tradition of drinking this coffee and making this coffee. And as we saw earlier, it takes time to make this coffee.
Right.
It's not an instant process,
Right.
and you really need to spend time And no life is going to go completely horrendous.
Right.
And no life is going to go without any problem.
Right.
So it's important to highlight opportunities of growth and opportunities of concern, and really put attention to certain letters and certain characters, and see whether those letters and those people and those types of concepts appear in your life.
Well, I
in the future.
completely get it now.
Not
Gets
fully sure.
stronger on the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah.